My name is Jay Bridgeball. I'm a real estate broker since 1988. I've seen the good days, the bad days, and the not so bad days. My passion is to educate consumer about all aspects in real estate. Actually, I sold over $1.75 billion in real estate. Now, that's a lot of experience. I went through many failures, many successes, and I've seen many stories that you will be amazed. Not everything looks so glamorous as it is sometimes. On Let's Talk Real Estate, we will dig deep down and I will take you step by step through every process, from buying your first home to buying a multi-million-dollar investment property. We will have various people on this show. Lawyers, investors, we'll have mortgage brokers, appraisals, and everyone else to assist us to take you to that point. My aim is to break it down in such easy terms that you will be able to follow. So please join me every Thursday between 1 and 2 and let's talk real estate. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. I'm Jay Bridgeball and today we will have an amazing topic. What's involved in staging your home? What does staging really means and how can you prepare your home better so that you can sell? It's a proven fact that a home that is well prepared and shows well, smells right, will attract more buyers and you tend to end up getting more money. Along with me today is Amit, our co-host.
Definitely here from the Bridge team, and we have our lovely guest, Giselle.
Hi.
Okay, Giselle, you are a professional stager.
Yes, I am.
Right. How long you been doing staging?
I've been doing staging for about 3 years. Right now,
okay.
I'm working with a company called Imagine Designs and Decor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's overall a very great experience. The great thing about Imagine Designs and Decor is we do everything all in one. So we provide painting, we have all our inventory ourselves, so we don't go out and rent, so we have everything in store. And yeah.
So it's a one-stop shop.
Yes, exactly.
Right, one-stop shop for everything. Now, let's say you're going to a home to stage.
Yeah.
What are some of the advice? I mean, the first thing when someone pull up in front of this home, what they're seeing the home itself.
Yeah.
I've seen many sellers who have got the garage door probably painted, the lawn is not kept properly.
Yeah.
Do you guys look at all these various aspects in a home?
Curb appeal.
Yeah, curb appeal is important, but I find that a lot of the times the interior is most important because that's where you're going to be living in.
Okay.
And the maintenance inside the house is definitely important. We don't do a lot of outside stuff. Sometimes we do outside furniture just to give, like patio.
Lovely patio or something.
We provide some furniture for that just to show the kinds of things that you could do with the backyard. But as most part of like the garage and stuff, that that's kind of stuff that you could fix up once you buy your house.
You don't want to stage a garage.
No,
right?
of course not. Of course not.
So the best way is that number one, we have to think in terms of a buyer. Buyer walking through, they reach the front door. Give us a tour what you do first thing when you go to the home.
Walking in is the first major key. You always want to have some kind of artwork and color as soon as you come into a house because that's the first thing you're going to be seeing. We tend to use a lot of neutral tones and then pop of color so that in each room something pops out at you.
Okay.
When we stage, we also, space is very important. So for instance, decluttering. As soon as you walk in, you don't want to see a coat rack with all these jackets on it. You want to see less. Less is more.
That's beautiful. Less is best.
Less is more. Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Right. And then other factor is that sometimes many homes we go into as realtors, the first thing they got about 55 hue sitting right next to the front door.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Oh.
Declutter is key. Before we stage, we always send out reports on what we think is best. So first we would do a consultation, and in that consultation we would take pictures of the house.
Right.
Then we would go back to the shop, write a report on what we think is best.
Okay.
So like declutter countertops, because in a kitchen you don't want to see much. You won't see counter space if there's
Right.
plates, knives, towels, all that stuff. So decluttering is absolutely number one when it comes to staging.
These are things that many realtors don't even know. So
Yeah.
it's really important that you share this with our viewers.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
remember just last week walking into a home. Shoes were number one thing, but a lot of times in immigrant households, we're all from somewhere else. There's maybe 3 or 4 couches, a couple
Yeah.
chairs, and some weird stuff hanging on the wall. It feels you can have the biggest space, and then it feels really, really confined. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. A lot of the times, having a storage unit, or even if you could keep it in the basement, because like I said, less is more. You want it to be tidy, and you want the space to feel open at the same time.
Jay and I actually recommend a lot of times we use the garage. So we,
Yeah,
we
a lot of
take.
the times we do that too.
y-
Garage or basement, it depends. Yeah.
I know of one home where we did, they had excessively large furniture in the main floor. We take half of them in the basement and stage an unfinished basement.
Yeah, no,
Right? I mean, set up
seriously,
an
it works.
entertainment area,
Yeah.
a gym area, and everything down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, it works.
Right.
It definitely works.
Yeah. So now getting back to the home, what I find is number one, you are selling not necessarily the feature alone of the home. You are selling the theme. You are selling a lifestyle, really. For example, you have an area where someone can look at entertainment or different aspect of it. Let's talk a little bit about a home you just staged for one of our client.
Oh.
The truth of the fact is that this home,
Yes.
beautiful home, however, everything in this home is old.
Yeah. It's
Right, I
very
mean,
outdated.
Outdated from the tiles to the kitchen to everything.
Yeah, definitely.
And what make it even worse is that they had all old furniture that
Yeah.
goes along with that old look. That definitely subtract quite a bit from the home.
Definitely.
Tell us about what you have done. First, I noticed you walk around, you did a tour with your phone, you got all those information.
Yes,
Then
exactly.
you went back and prepared something based on the space.
Yes. So for that house, I did the tour, the walk around throughout the house. I found that the couch was very, the furniture, not even just the couch, was very outdated. But the thing is, with staging, you need to know what you can use and what you can't use.
Right.
So first impression, as soon as you walked in, the couch, it was very not in good shape. So I knew for a fact we could not use the couch.
Right,
We're going to
of
have to bring in
course,
our own
of
couch.
course.
And then when you walk through the dining room, there was that plastic tablecloth over the dining table. And she said that she didn't really want to use it just because she felt like the table was a little scuffed.
Right.
I looked at the table and I said, normally when we do stage tables and dining areas, we do table settings. So I said, don't worry about that. We won't need to bring in a new table. We could still work with this. We could just cover it a little bit. So what I did for the table was I put a table runner. I set the table with table mats, plates, the napkin holders, and a lot of accessories for the table, so that you can even notice.
Right.
So that was good.
You can work around some of those things.
You can, and that's why when you hire a stager, they know these things. They know what you can use and what you can't use.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So now we've come in and you've staged my home.
Yes.
Okay. I want to go eat dinner now. What do we do with all these things?
So normally it's just this, when we stage, it's just for when people do open houses or even for the pictures.
Right.
So when you are living in that space still, you could just move it to the side. Or normally, like even when we set the beds, we use a full, like pillows, pillowcases, and a whole duvet of covers and all that. And normally you would just take it off when you do plan to sleep.
Oh, or just tell us to sleep on the floor.
Or that.
Okay. So that's very interesting. The way you walk around the home and you create space by taking out these large old couches and bringing in smaller ones.
Yes.
Create a different atmosphere altogether.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, another aspect of this, what I find interesting, most of the time when I put a home on the market, the first thing I do, make sure all the closets are half empty.
Yes.
Declutter as much as possible. Clean as much as possible. Even the drawers for the dishes, half empty them.
Yeah.
Because someone may open it and say, hey, where would I put mine?
Exactly.
Right? So that's a very, very important point along the process.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, the family room, okay, we talk about a combined living and dining. You make it look very spacious, open concept. Now, the family room on the other side, nice room, but it's very narrow.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us what you did there.
So for the family room, it had a fireplace, and before there was, as soon as I came in, there was a desk in the corner. There was a couch, was it right?
Right.
And then a bed in the corner, a little bed area in the corner. First of all, there was a lot going on, and because it's a fireplace, there's a fireplace. You want that to kind of stand out. So what I chose to do was add in a small couch, declutter the desk, declutter the bed, and just have like a little small living area where you could just, read a book, or it was very...
So now become warm to enjoy the nice flickering wood fireplace.
Exactly.
And the ambience of the room, you make it very warm.
Yes, and that was the goal.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll talk about how to stage your kitchen and your washroom. Thank you. See you soon.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. We're here with Giselle, and
Hi.
we're going to be talking about how to stage your kitchen. So,
Yes.
Giselle, quick question for you. Well, actually, not so much a quick question. We have a lot of counter space in our kitchen, but my wife likes her toaster oven. I always manage to leave my keys there. I leave different things. My loaf of bread is there.
Yeah.
So this long kitchen space of counter usually gets used up very quickly.
Of course.
Is that it never looks that appealing. What's your take on that? How do you guys handle that?
So when it comes to kitchens, we always ask the homeowner to declutter. So we want nothing on the countertop so that when we come in, we can add what we feel is appropriate for the space.
Right.
Normally, we would add... always we would fix the towels. So on the oven, we want a nice clean white or even a pop of color too. Also, we always find that in a kitchen, some kind of plant is always nice.
Okay.
Greenery.
Right.
We also do add bowls of fruits.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
sales is very subliminal. Usually the brain needs 3 positive messages to convert a logical decision to an emotional decision.
Yes.
And a bowl of fruit, for example, appeal to the eyes, the nose, and the taste buds.
Exactly.
3 positive subliminal sales right there. And suddenly person says, I want this house. I don't know why, but I want this house. So the whole idea is to convert
Yeah.
logic to emotion. People buy with emotion and they justify with logic.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the whole key behind it. So
Yeah.
now I understand why you want fruits.
Yeah. Definitely.
And fresh flowers,
Yeah,
of course, right?
greenery. I find even when it comes to the bathroom, the
Right.
washrooms, we like mostly washrooms and kitchens, a nice clean space, fresh towels, and greenery. That's everything.
That's-
You know, and Jay, we always say that it's the washrooms and the kitchens that sell the home.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
It's
I mean,
true.
most of the time we gotta face the truth as men is the women that buy the home. We
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah.
Right? So the bottom line is these are the two space they want to be really nice and really shows very well.
Absolutely.
I remember we did one for the washroom. There was a lovely Roman tub on this side, and what we did instead, got some nice towels hanging over 3 different colors, nicely wrapped in everything. A lovely bottle of champagne in the container, and
Feels
two
like a hotel when
glasses.
you walk in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are selling
Absolutely.
emotions. So the next
Yeah.
thing, the lady was, oh, hon, this is beautiful. And, you know, I mean, it just divert their thought from looking from a washroom to a completely different thought.
Yeah,
And that's
and-
what you're selling.
And a lot of the times when people go in to buy a house, they look at the washrooms just for sanitary purposes, right?
Yes.
And that's why when you walk in and it's staged and it's a nice clean space, all the toiletries, toothbrushes, hide them somewhere, even if it's under the sink. You just don't
Right.
want to see anything on the countertops,
Yes.
just so you know that, you're buying a house that's sanitary and clean.
That's very, very
Yeah.
important point. What we tell client, make sure here, what you're showing at home, put the toilet seat down, put the lid over, close it,
Yeah.
take out all the mats out of it. Don't
Absolutely.
leave your old dirty mats there.
Yeah.
You got your small garbage, get rid of it.
Get
Don't
rid
keep
of it.
anything in there.
Nothing, yeah.
Right? Give the blind a shove to one side, the shower curtain, take out all your soap, wipe it up, caulk it.
Yeah,
so
somewhere.
that it looks bigger as well.
Of course, yeah,
Right?
definitely.
That's a great point. Some nice fresh
Definitely.
potpourri to give it a good smell.
Yes,
Yeah,
smells
so
very
that's
important.
Yeah. So that's important for the washroom. Now, we're getting back to the kitchen. What would your recommendation, what would you like to see on a countertop? Or what should we not keep on a countertop? Or what should we keep?
Well, what you can keep is obviously the utilities that you do plan on using in a kitchen. A lot of the times we don't say, you have to get rid of the toaster and get rid of the toaster oven, and because realistically you use that on a day-to-day base in the kitchen.
Right.
If it's very outdated and you find like you have a silver nice
Eyesore,
fridge, and then if it's an eyesore, then we would tell you, maybe if you could stash it under the sink or put it somewhere just for the time being when the photos are being taken, and also for when people come in for open houses. But normally we would want it to look as realistic as possible, so we wouldn't normally tell you, get rid of that stuff.
So perfect.
Yeah. Mostly just clutter. I find that even in my kitchen, if you walk, sometimes you leave the keys on the counter,
Right.
and then little things, if you have kids, they might leave their agenda or books on the counter
Right.
as well. Things like that is very important to declutter. And then that way, if it's just the countertops, the utilities, and then we would add, little knickknacks, and we sometimes would add a kettle with 2 mugs.
Oh.
We do like little stationary things like that.
Create a warm feel.
Exactly.
While we're talking about what's there and what's not there, in the kitchens, a lot of times over the stoves, you end up getting a little bit of discoloration depending on how much you're cooking, what it is you're cooking.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for that? And a lot of times you probably see maybe smells, different colors in different areas.
I haven't really dealt with anything too bad when it comes to that. Normally, just clean. I would just say
Scrub the walls.
Scrub it as much as possible.
It might-
If there are let's say holes or something was in that area before and there's the wall is kind of messed up, normally we would usually add artwork to cover that.
Oh,
in a
smart.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, so it does make a difference when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I know the most important aspect as we've been talking and staging is preparing the home for showing,
Of course.
more than anything else, right? Um, I know of one situation where the cupboards were old, so what we did, we removed the knobs, went to Home Depot, bought some more modern knobs, screw it on, totally different look.
Yes,
Yeah.
fixtures. I
Yeah.
find even when it comes to lighting, lighting is 100% one of the most important things.
And it's one of the cheapest things to
It's
do.
one of the cheapest things to do, and it makes a big difference.
Right.
Now, what's
Yeah.
your take on the bright white LED bulbs versus the yellow bulbs?
I would always say LED, just because it gives the space a more open and bright feel versus the yellow. It's dull, right? When we stage a house, there's so much color and there's so much pop. If you flick on the light fixture and it's just dull, it's
Feels
not going to give
dreary.
it
It kills it.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, when come to kitchen and dining room, always think candlelight dinner. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to sell that warmth, that love.
You're right.
Right.
Definitely,
Yes,
definitely.
so that's important. Another aspect of it is also, yes, the white LED light pops. Also, the yellow LED light
Yes.
pops as well in certain areas, bring that warmth.
You're
And
right.
human nature love gold. Look at you, for example. All right, all right. So why not the yellow light add that gold?
Yeah, you're
And
right.
it plays on the eye. That's why these things are so they are so catching that we do not realize it.
Yeah.
That's why you go to the casino, you win some money. What's happening? Lights flashing
Yeah.
and the money jingling, and then you go and give them all your money, right? So these are what really sells. So we are trying to sell these things.
Yeah.
Bright
Even-
light,
you know what?
clean light fixtures is also important. I've gone in bedrooms where they got one light on, one is not working, the shade is full of dust,
Yeah.
the blinds
Oh,
are
yes.
down, the bed is not properly made up, the washroom is dirty, and then they wonder why their home is not
It's not
selling or they're
selling.
getting low price.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess staging is so much more than anything else to make things beautify everything,
course.
and at the same time bring everything in perspective. Yeah. So now
Definitely.
let's talk a little bit about painting.
Painting.
What is involved in painting a home?
And is it worth it?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. A lot of homes that I do walk into, when we do offer our staging, if they do end up painting, a lot of the times they're 100% sell, just because a lot of paint in houses, especially older houses, are very outdated. Colors change, right? Trends change.
Well, that's for sure.
Right now, a nice gray, a nice silver gray, light gray, dark gray, depending on the room, that's very popular.
Right. Well, let's say 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Hold that idea. When we get back, we'll talk more about that.
Perfect.
See you soon. We'll talk about painting and preparing your home for sale. So.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back. We're here with Giselle talking about staging your home in different areas. Now we're going to get a little bit deeper into painting.
Yeah, so when it comes to staging a house, painting is very, very important. Just because there's many trends, different trends that are going on, and we find that painting, it changes the whole room and dynamic of the room. I've walked into many houses that wanted our staging services, and their walls were like orange or bright yellow, and it was very, you can't take in anything else that's going on in the room other than it's hurting your eyes.
Sometimes when you step into a home like that, you almost feel like you're going back in time.
Exactly.
Just from
Definitely.
the colors in the kitchen or in the living room.
Yeah.
It's a
And
turn
then-
off. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
is,
it could
it
be
is.
only, a 15-year-old home. But then you feel, this feels like
This
a
feels too
25-year-old home. I don't want this.
Exactly.
And the bones and the structure are good, but it's visually not appealing.
It's not appealing at all. And when we stage, usually normally the color that we want is more so with accessories and artwork. We like to keep everything
Okay.
kind of neutral.
Neutral,
So
okay.
when you walk in and the walls are white or a nice gray, then it's easier to work with, because then we could just do like, a regular neutral sofa, a chair, a side table, regular lamps, and then we add the pop of color. So when
okay.
walls are all these different blue, green, orange, it's too much.
It's
It's too
Really?
much. Yeah.
How do you feel, or how do your company, how do you guys feel about accent walls? Now, I've seen them used very effectively.
Yes.
And also I've seen them just,
Yeah,
slap
absolutely.
you in the face.
So accent walls, I find that it's nice if it's done properly. So if it's not too, it depends what you're doing with that room also. If it's a bedroom, I've seen many cases where it's just one wall painted a color, and then the other walls are painted like a nice neutral, and then you'd put the bed along
Oh, the
that
head,
wall, and it looks good. It could work. But when it comes to too much color, and one has like shapes and designs and the other, it's too much for the eyes. It's an eyesore for sure.
Got you.
Yeah.
Right. I guess it's too much distraction.
It is.
Too much
You
distraction.
don't even know what the room is anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It comes down to one basic point where people are saying here, you know what? Beauty is in simplicity.
Yes.
The
Definitely.
simpler you can make the home, get rid of all the fake flowers and
Yeah.
all the fake plants, and
Yes.
get some real live plants, make it simple and beautiful. It always comes out better in
Yeah,
staging. right?
definitely. And the thing is about painting also is you don't want to be painting your house every year, every 2 years. So
Right.
when it comes to updated, it's better to update furniture versus paint. So that's why we always tend to say stick with something very neutral, something that
Right.
can be used with any kind of
Furniture.
That way that if you do feel tired of how your room looks, you could just buy, change the couch. It'll make a big difference. Change the couch, put a different piece of artwork on the wall, and it's good.
So you guys also, you offer the painting. Do you guys actually
Yes,
do
we do.
the? Okay, that's
Yeah,
great,
we
because
do.
it's something that I've always noticed.
Yeah.
That even when I'm painting myself, that first wall is awesome.
Yeah.
The second wall is here, and the third wall, it looks like you're painting.
It's all kind of a strategy on where you start to how you finish. I actually have been painting houses recently with Imagine Designs and Decor.
Okay.
So we have an actual professional painter,
Right.
and he does the job, and he has his workers as well. But I've been doing some of it, and I've learned so much so far. Before I would always say, "Oh, I hate painting." It's the prepping which is the hardest. I don't like
Right.
to tape, but no, it goes by fast, and it's very I've learned a lot of techniques.
Cutting and different
Yes.
things like that.
When it
Definitely.
comes to painting, they said paint might worth $50 in the can, but $500 on the wall.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It does take your
Absolutely.
value.
Absolutely.
Right? A small washroom, what would be a recommended color of paint to make it pop?
Powder rooms.
Powder rooms, washrooms, I like to stick with whites or gray, because I find that that's the most modern colors,
Modern
and it
colors,
goes with
yeah.
Oh
everything.
yeah, that grayish blue is like in every
Yes.
modern
Yes.
home now.
Yeah.
Right,
Definitely.
You're going with the time, right? The one time was coffee, now it's gray. and
Yeah.
You go with the time. So it's always good if you're selling
To keep up with the
refresh,
trends
keep up
too,
with the trend.
definitely.
I notice even the dark colors, they suck the light out of a room sometimes. It definitely feels like it's just so much smaller when you have
Smaller.
a dark.
And that's where color comes in. A lot of lights and grays and whites, it makes the room look a lot bigger
Right.
than it normally is.
And
Yeah.
it always says if you have two adjacent rooms, it's best to paint them with the same color. Then collectively they look bigger.
Definitely.
Right.
I would agree with that.
Right. And when it comes to blinds, if your blind, let's say, is a shade of light blue or something, go with something very neutral that blends in as
absolutely.
well. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it make the place look bigger. Right. Very important when it comes to these things. How do you address window dressings? I mean, I've gone into these homes and they got 3 sets of blinds. They got the regular shades, and they got the pull down regular shade, and they got the other blind. And you go into these homes, they're all locked in, furniture all over the place.
I mean, when it comes to blinds and windows, I feel like it's the condition that the windows are in to know what to use. So, for instance, if in a living area there's a nice big open window and the window's in good condition, then we would normally say take down the blinds, let's just add some drapes. Let's add some nice drapes, and we'll just, pull it to the side, so that way a lot of natural light can come in, and it makes it look a lot more spacious as well.
It's funny you mentioned that, Jay. I was showing a house, I think it was maybe about 2 months ago. And we walked in with the buyer bought their little one with them, maybe about 7 or 8 years old. We walked in and there was 3 layers of drapes, shades, drapes, and blinds.
Oh, no.
And then he said, it feels like Dracula lives here. So that definitely makes a big difference.
It does. It absolutely does.
Right. And you know what? For sale, if your home is properly staged, like it's being clean, smells clean, and staged well, you will net about 10% more in the sale of your home.
Yeah.
That's how much it means.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of the time when you stage your house and it looks nicely done, you could sell your house for more than it's worth, for sure. That adding that furniture in there makes a big difference. It's just like, for instance, 96% of people, when you're selling a house, they look online, right, to see what the house looks like, etc. So when you see a vacant house, there's nothing to really see.
Right.
You can't envision. So it says here's the bathroom, here's the bedroom, here's the living room, and you're just looking at walls and floor. That's it. Versus when you stage a house, you could see more of what can be made of that room. And also doing open houses as well. It's a fact that when a house is vacant, people walk through it 3 times faster than they would with furniture in there.
Well, that's why you would not see a builder home that is vacant.
Of course.
Builder have professional stager,
Yes.
and they come in and they set it up that way.
Yep. For a reason, right? Because you want people to take in the details of the home.
Right.
You want, like, if there's a sofa and a nice living area set up, they're gonna enjoy the taste and the color of the walls, and they're gonna enjoy the flooring.
They could sit there.
Exactly.
They could
it's
watch
more
TV
realistic.
there.
Yeah, like I could see myself waking up to this room every day versus just doing a quick walkthrough through a house. It's like you can't really feel how the house will feel once you live there.
Right.
So you're selling an emotion.
Yep, that's
An
it.
emotion. You're selling a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right,
For sure.
you want people to say, "Hey, this is me having my coffee here and just sitting in this chair."
Yeah.
Right, that's what really.
And it almost makes them feel like, well, hey, this is better than what I have at home. Even their space could be
Yes.
bigger at home, but they're going into a well-designed space.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when we do stage houses, we get a lot of, once someone buys the house, they do ask for us to come in and stage their new house, and not just, it's more of a permanent stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
So almost like an interior design, decorating.
Exactly,
yeah.
because they enjoyed the taste and how we were able to
Okay.
mold the furniture and
Okay.
colors. Yeah.
That's so much so interesting. Now, we've taken care of the lights, we've taken care of exceptionally cleaning the home, we talk about the washroom, we talk about the kitchen, and we cover most of the homes, what's involved in staging. Now, another very important aspect is what are the costs involved in staging. Let's address that factor on our next session.
Yeah.
Let's take a break now. See you soon.
discover the incredible India.
Welcome back. So we are with Giselle, a professional stager.
Yes.
And now we have spoken so much about staging. What we have not addressed, what's the cost of staging? Everyone think the cost as much when come to stage a home. What is actually the cost? What's go on? Give us a little walkthrough.
Well, it really depends on the size of the home, and also if you wanted a full stage or a partial stage. We do offer both of those services. So for a partial stage, it would inquire normally the main rooms that people would want to see. So we would normally do, we would exclude the basement. We would do the living area, the dining, and the master bedroom, and then all of the washrooms. Yeah.
Kitchen, of course. Yes.
And then the kitchen, of course, yeah.
Yes. Okay. What for, let's say, a 2,000 square foot home, detached, three bedroom, four bedroom?
Well, what we normally like to do is stay within the means of people's budget.
Okay.
So it all depends on how much, because we have our own store with our inventory, we just won't bring in as much as we normally would for a full stage. So when it comes to staging a living area, if you do need, if your sofa isn't in the best condition and we need to bring in our sofa, then it's going to cost more, right?
Of course.
So,
and you will take hours also for just storage or
well, it depends. It depends. If they do have a storage available, then we would always suggest, just put it there. If not, like there's been many situations where we've actually helped the homeowner bring it down to the basement, and maybe we can use it in that room, right? Because a lot of people, they won't, like the basement, a lot of the times people know that the basement, it's used for storage. It's not a big setup. But if we can use their furniture, or let's say a table that we can't use upstairs, we would just then stage it downstairs with their own stuff.
Okay, beautiful. So to stage that half stage, we want to stage just the main floor, the washrooms, the kitchen, master bedroom. What would that cost?
It's hard to say.
Is there a consultation fee?
Yes, so there is a consultation fee always, and what we would do then is, go through it, take the pictures. In the report that we do send the following day, it has a cost. It would say how much the room itself or the whole house or partial stage would cost. If it's not in their means, then what we would then do is say, we could take out the washroom, or we could take out the master bedroom, or maybe partially stage
Mix
a living
and match.
area. Exactly. So then it's affordable.
So then an average cost for a 2,000 might be what, about $2,000, $2,500?
I would say a little less than 2,500. But the thing is that with staging is, a lot of people think that, oh my goodness, that's so much money to put out. But in the end, you're getting that back and more.
Plus some.
Exactly. Like our rates with Imagine Designs and Decor, a lot of the houses that we do stage get sold very quickly.
Usually that brings to another point. How long do I have the furniture in my home for?
So normally the contract would be for 30 days. If it's not sold within those 30 days, then what we do offer is you could extend the contract for half of the price.
Okay. So if it doesn't sell after 30 days, we extend the contract for half the price.
Exactly.
That's not too bad at all. And usually the cost for the furniture is about $500-600, I think, right?
The cost for the furniture itself, it depends. It depends what kind of,
if it's a whole bedroom set and a dining room, or
exactly.
one.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's good to know. Now, we have many people who want the do-it-yourself kind of personality, and they're a strict budget. What are some of the best advice we can give them in staging the home and doing it themselves?
Well, what I would suggest is try to use color is everything, right?
Right.
I would say try to keep everything as neutral as possible
Okay. Right.
because it helps when
Right.
for a buyer to buy a home. It's not so there's not too much going on when you use neutral colors.
Right.
It keeps it very clean and classy. And also what I like is glass. I find that when you use glass tables, coffee tables, side
Right.
tables, it really opens up the space.
Okay.
Yeah, it really opens up the space. Also, less bulky items like couches. Some couches are very outdated and
Yep.
bulky. If maybe, you know, you could even turn it into a sitting area and just use 2 chairs versus a big long couch.
Right.
You know, just kind of work your way with that.
Yeah, bring some of your friends over and ask them, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
What advice I
Yeah.
could get here?
Yeah.
Or how
That-
can we make this better? And I guess most important thing for anyone, if you want to sell your home, number one, declutter.
Declutter,
Yes,
of course.
definitely.
Declutter. Put away everything that you
Everything.
don't want. Right? Get
You know, you
rid-
want to keep it as less as possible.
Yes.
So if you wanted to try staging your house on your own, what I would suggest is just keep the main furniture. Try not to have anything else around.
Right.
You know, just keep a coffee table, couch. You could even do side tables if you have it.
Right.
On the side table, there should just be a lamp or so, nothing too much.
If so much, yeah.
yeah.
You know what I've also noticed too, even the fact that just removing rugs. If you remove
Definitely.
area rugs, carpets, that opens a room up.
The
It
room
looks
looks
twice as big.
bigger.
Of
Yeah,
course,
sure.
yeah, especially carpet, especially carpet.
Very, very important also is depersonalize the home.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Yes.
Let the people see themselves living in it, enjoying that lifestyle.
Of course.
Seen home where they got 55 photograph of themselves and their family on the wall.
Yeah, they don't want to see
and
you
that's-
golfing.
That's a very good
yeah,
point. That's actually something that we do put in the contract. In every report that we send, we always say, you know, any religious items, please take down. Anything personal, please take down. Just because, yeah, you're right. When somebody's coming into the house, they don't want to see all these pictures of you and your family. Not that it's a bad thing, you know. It's just depersonalized for sure.
Subliminally, they
Of course.
they feel like they're visiting your house instead of seeing their next house.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
that's important. It's really the buyer experience when the buyer comes to that home, really.
Yeah.
And it starts really, as you said, a well-kept lawn, manicured, fresh flowers. Winter time, you make sure the driveway is all shoveled, sidewalk is all clean. Enter the home, there is no shoe, there is no clutter in front of
Yes.
the door. A nice mirror, I find, is very handy when someone just entered the home.
Of course.
Everyone like to see their own photo, whatever
Yeah.
image. Right? So it
You're
creates
right.
a pleasant
And
feeling
it also
right away.
it opens it up.
It opens it up when,
Definitely.
you know, the next thing, a fresh bowl of mint, because it gives a pleasant sensation, right? As they walk through the home, all the doors internally to be open so that the lights can move from one area to the next. It shows better.
Yeah,
The
you're
window
right.
blinds pull up so that allow the light to come in from outside.
One thing we also didn't talk about too much, but it's messiness.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know your home is being shown.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people, they forget to, you know, fold their clothes, you know, leave socks places, jackets, shorts,
Yeah.
everything. To be honest, I've seen underwears.
I've been to know where I'm kicking things under the bed and everything else for my clients to come through, right? So
Yeah, it's true.
So that's important because strangers are coming in to see your home. You're selling your home, so make sure it's being presented very well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right, and odors are another bad thing entering the home. When you just walk into the home, you have
Get a whiff.
a whiff of different smell.
Especially food, I find is a
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
When I walk into people's houses and to do a stage, sometimes, you know, if they have kids, you'd smell some diapers. Sometimes if they're cooking something big, you'd smell food. Little things, just as like little air wicks that you could just stick in the outlets around the house. It does make a big difference.
Lots of people, they have pets, baking soda. Sprinkle some on the
Yeah.
couch and
Yeah.
get it,
Deodorizer.
throw it in the
Mhm,
carpet.
yeah.
Yeah.
What work great for smoke is actually vinegar. Get about 3 small bowls of vinegar, leave
Oh,
it about
wow.
24 hours.
Nice.
It gets rid of the smoke smell as well, right? For
Yeah.
homes that have that odor.
And if all else fails, just leave the windows open.
Right, and that's important also. Allow some fresh air to
Yeah,
flow through the home,
course,
right?
yeah.
If you're cooking and want to cook heavy meals, maybe it's time to go out for dinner and
Yes.
avoid, going in home and these guys are just cooking. Now they're just going to cook fish.
Oh yeah.
And they got 6 set of people coming in, and
I always tell
turn away.
tell my clients, for the first 7 days, treat your kids to every meal they ever wanted. McDonald's, pizza, and then you won't have to worry with all those dishes. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's true. That's a very important part also, because the home must smell good, it must show good, and that's why we talk about the kitchen must taste good as well. They must see that.
Definitely.
Right? What are some of the last few points you want to leave with our audience?
Well, when it comes to staging, always remember that you have to think bigger than just the cost of what it is to stage.
Right.
Because in the end, it is going to be worth it. Having a professional come into your house and they know what's best. A lot of the times it's okay to be picky. When we do stage, we want it to be personalized for you too, because you're living in the space for the time being. But we're the professionals. We know what is best. We
Yes.
know how to get your house sold. We know what the trends are. We know what people want to see. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
On that note, Giselle, can you tell some of our viewers how to get in contact with you?
yes, so you could go on the website, which is Imagine, spelled with IMAJEN, Design and Decor. Also, if you want to email us, you can email us at info@imaginedecor.com. And
That's great. Now let me ask you this quick question. If you get a headache, would you go to a mechanic?
no,
And if you got a car problem, would you go to your doctor?
no.
That's why it's so important for people to go to the professional for the professional
Exactly.
job.
Exactly.
All right.
Absolutely right.
And that's a great way to look at it. And my final comment is that staging does worth it. It causes the value of your property to go up because it changes the perception of that space. You're selling your space that you're living in. You're selling a lifestyle. Do you ever go out there and see a builder putting on a big photograph of their home on a billboard?
Yeah. No.
Maybe a little kid on their back and they're holding their wife's hand, running around,
Yeah.
or a hug or something.
Yeah.
So you are selling that, really, right?
Emotion.
Yes, emotions. So Amit, your last take on this.
My last take, definitely, it's on the same note as you. We need professionals to do a professional job.
Yes.
So always do your research and feel free to give Giselle a call.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next week.